Hi, welcome back to Conversations with Sophia, sponsored by the Addiemae Art House. Today we have in my studio kitchen the American Academy Award winning fellow chef Addiemae Farrington. I probably didn't say that right, but she's a 2014 Academy Fellow. And I just want to say again that she is the only female chef of color from the Caribbean to have won this award. So I am delighted to have her in studio. We are in the holiday season and not everyone is into turkey. So what Chef Farrington is going to prepare for us today is a savory chicken. Eh?
Yes,
savory chicken.
Rustic, savory, authentic,
Amen.
down home roast chicken.
Rusted, authentic, Bahamian, down home, savory chicken. That's a lot of stuff. But I am so excited because Chef Farrington is going to demonstrate everything that she is going to be doing and putting on this bird here for us today. We, of course, this is already completed, but she's going to take us through the process so that as you prepare your holiday meal, and if turkey is not your thing and you want to have some chicken, this is what you're going to do. I'm going to turn it over to the real chef in the house, Chef Farrington.
Yes. I'm so happy to be back with you, Dr. Sophia. And we're going to do a savory soup as well.
Oh, yes, I forgot the soup.
Yes, we have, in the summer and winter, we have an abundance of pumpkin. So as you pickled your pumpkin and have those on your shelf or in the fridge or in storage, you need to find something exciting to do. So these are your pickled pumpkin.
Now, pickled pumpkin, I always thought because pumpkin was such a soft, watery type fruit, is it? Vegetable.
Yeah.
You couldn't pickle it because this consistency would not last. How do you pickle pumpkin?
Well, for us, what I did is a research. What we did is we diced it. We put olive oil and thyme and salt, and we roast them in the oven first, along with all the onions and garlic and everything else have you. And then we put them in our jars, and we.
So you don't cook it sauce. You just roast it. Blanch it off a little bit.
Pork ready, and once they're done, you just put it in the bottle and you add your, particularly oil. Whatever we have from the pot, we add it to it.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. And how long does that last?
This can last for 2 months, 3 months.
Wow.
Once you keep it in the fridge, especially, you can have it all year round.
Interesting.
Yes.
And so we're going to do a pumpkin soup today, a roasted pumpkin soup. Already smells delicious. And go ahead, chef.
Okay, so we have the pumpkin already roasted. And what we want to do is, these are your mirepoix. So our mirepoix today is simple mirepoix.
Mirepoix.
It's just the rough cuts of little veggies. For us today we did a little garlic, bell peppers, because we have bell peppers in abundance. Whatever's in the garden is what I particularly use. And everybody will tell you that. And so in the garden I also found some green onion and some parsley. And I'm going to add it in there. And once you have had these pumpkin, what you will do with those, you will roast those and then you will put those in the blender and you'll puree those. Once they're already pureed, now this is our trick, puree. It has the right consistency. It is thick already. And all you do is you add it to your pot. You see I took it off? Because it's bubbling everywhere.
Yeah.
And you can just warm it up as you need it.
So this soup here is the result of
the
roasted pumpkin that you put in, you pureed in a food processor or blender or something.
Yes.
What else did you add to that? As is it pumpkin with some spices, some what did you put into that?
We just have pumpkin, garlic, salt, and pepper.
What about milk or water or something?
No milk and no milk, and just you could use vegetable stock or we use water because you want everybody to be able to come to your house and have it.
Yeah.
So we did not put no milk in it. Just the water, the vegetable stock, or water you can use.
Okay.
And we go 50-50. So if you got 1 pound of pumpkin, roasted
1 pound,
pumpkin. Then you have 16 ounces of water.
And what did you call the onions and stuff?
Mirepoix.
Mirepoix. I learned the word today, mirepoix,
yes.
which is a combination of your bell peppers, onions, garlic, all the veggies that you would, and what is the particular cut of these vegetables?
Today what we have is bonnoise.
Bonnoise.
Yes, this cut today we're using.
That's a small onion cut. So
yeah, it'll be a
bonnoise.
Yes, a bonnoise. It's
bonnoise.
a cut from a baton.
And this is a baton.
Yes.
If you know anything about sports, this is a baton.
And you just dice it down.
And we just dice it down
and
into
bonnoise.
Bonnoise. So you, from a baton
to a bonnoise.
Yeah. And notice on here cooking as well are the bonnoise, which is the
cut from the baton.
Cut from the baton. This is pumpkin. This is the baton. That is the bonnoise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Fancy. Bonnoise. So remember all of these names now so that you can impress your guests with knowledge that you would have learned today. So the soup then is simply the roasted pumpkin with the bonnoise
of
veggies.
Yes.
You blend all of those together.
Yes.
And no milk. You did add some stock.
Yes, that's vegetable stock.
Vegetable stock.
Yes.
Now, how did you get the vegetable stock? That's just the water that the bonnoise were.
What we did is we take the trimmings from the pumpkin. The trimmings from the pumpkin. You add your water, your thyme, your white of the onions or celery, and you just let it
cook down.
And you strain it and you just add it to that.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, because we know no milk or anything is in here, we're just going to add some love inside here.
Now, Chef Farrington.
Yes.
Before you go on, because I think we miss a very, very important step for our audience to understand how to make that vegetable stock. Because some people would just put water, and that doesn't give you the kind of flavor that you need to make this pumpkin soup. So you take, rather than tossing the onions, not the skin of the onion certainly, but there's an outer coating of the onion that people always throw away as well. You want to take all of those and put those into a pot, and you just simply let them boil down. You add sufficient water so that you can have a good amount of water in there. So onions, celery, any kind of vegetable that you want, really, you can let just boil down. Now, you don't want anything like potatoes or anything in there that's going to cloudy the water. So vegetables like the chives and so forth, that will give you that natural flavor. You just simply want to boil those down, and then you have that vegetable stock that you would make. It's really a basis for a number of soups, not just the pumpkin soup. And that takes the place of the milk that you would put into that soup at the end of the day. And it also helps it as a thickening agent for the soup.
Yes. Okay, so right now how we have blanched this vegetable, you will have that liquid.
Yes.
So what we know, you have the flavor of the sweet potato or the pumpkin or the carrot or any vegetable. And now, you don't throw it away.
Now, notice she said blanch the vegetables, not cook the vegetables out to zero. You just want to cook it sufficient so that you can literally see the nutrients seeping out of the vegetable. And then you take it and you put it into some kind of holding thing to cool down.
And stop it from cooking.
And stop it from cooking, yes.
Okay.
And then you have...
And then, so what we want to show them, this liquid, instead of throwing your liquid away now from your veggie, you can save those and use those for flavoring for your soups, your sauces, and gravies.
Yes, okay.
And so now once this is the right temperature, you want to get your tasting spoon, Dot.
Yes.
Yes, and you want to taste your soup and make sure it comes to the right degree of cooking.
And this is salt to taste.
Yes.
Okay. And you always want to have a plastic spoon, or not necessarily plastic, because I'm not a proponent of plastic really, but you want to have tasting spoons in your environment as you are cooking, so that you don't use the same spoon that you're actually putting back into your pot. You would use a tasting spoon, and ooh, that is delicious.
The lovely thing is, as we're going to wrap up on that spoon, you're going to get rid of that.
Yes.
And that's why we have a container of those.
Yes.
So we know, don't double tip. Okay? So now we're here.
That is delicious.
This is your bowl. And what you want to do, you're just going to lightly.
And she put the benoise in there. Put a couple of the cooked benoise in there already. You could put this on top of the soup, or
I put the bottom of the dish, and you could just gently add it in.
There.
Yes. You just add it in gently, and then you just add it in. Okay, now we don't want to overdo it.
Could we cut this off?
Yes, we can take that one off.
Okay. Yes. We don't want them to overcook.
Overcook. So that is that. Yes, and there goes your soup.
And there goes your soup. And since you clean on the inside.
Yes. Nice. And you don't want this the whole meal. So that is your soup. So we're going to move right into the preparation of the entree.
So you have
the soup.
A pumpkin soup with benoise and benoise or veggies to the bottom of it, so when you scoop that, you get the full flavor.
Yes.
And that's a pumpkin. That is delicious, ladies and gentlemen. That is delicious. Should we turn this off?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to come over here. We're done with our soup, and this is our veggies. We're going to get our veggies ready for the entree.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're about to do
yes.
We need a plate? We need the plate?
Yes, we need that.
Okay.
Plate. And the nice thing is, with the dinner plate, we have our lovely green beans. And what we did is we blanched those green beans and got those ready for today. And also, once you go into your garden, and you find yourself a lot of fresh herb.
Now this is the roast chicken that we're getting ready to do. Now,
present our roast chicken.
Okay, so for the purposes of this presentation, the chicken was already cooked. What did you use to cook that chicken?
Okay, for our chicken.
Did you just put it in the oven to roast? Did you season it? Did you stuff it? Did you?
Yes, we did not stuff our bird. We did not stuff our bird.
Okay.
What we did is we just season our bird with our house seasoning, and that means whatever season you have, you can use. We're not going to tell you go and use this and go and use that, but we know it's salt and pepper. And when we travel, and when tourists come to the Bahamas, or anybody comes to the Bahamas, they know we in the Caribbean, we can cook. Just cook Bahamian. And that means they expect your food to be flavored. So that's the interesting thing in life. We want our food to be flavored.
So the right kinds of seasonings, the all season oil, the little garlic, little black pepper, little whatever you want.
Whatever in your garden. So whatever's in my garden, you would put in a blender.
Yeah.
And you blend your herbs and spices.
So all of these herbs from here is what you have there.
Yes. And you put your olive oil, whatever oil you so desire. We go with the olive oil. Yeah, light olive oil.
So you blend these in olive oil and water?
No, just olive oil.
Just olive oil.
Yes.
Okay.
No nuts. I don't put nuts because you don't know if you're
allergic to nuts. So all your spices. I see thyme, 2 types of thyme, parsley, bay leaf, all of that you put in. You really need a good food processor. And you blend all of that down with olive oil, and then you can have that to put over your vegetables.
Yes, and lightly seasoned.
Lightly seasoned.
Yes.
With salt.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
some people put black pepper over their vegetables.
Particularly I had an uncle who I always said he was prejudiced, so he never ate raisin, black-eyed peas, and now black pepper in his food, so it always looked like dirt, so I understand. But after you started to study culinary, you know, black pepper is for red meat. particularly red meat, unless you have a nice pepper mill and you crush a nice fresh black pepper, it's a different. But we put white pepper if you have white pepper, so you don't want it.
Yeah.
All right. So,
in your kitchen you should have black pepper as well as white pepper.
Yes.
Black pepper you use on red meats, and white pepper you would use for your vegetables and so on. So again, it gives it a little time.
Okay. So you see, so you just toss gently.
You toss those gently. And let me tell you something, you can literally smell the garlic flavor here. So you want to just toss those lightly because you don't want to break down the vegetables. Am I going to put this on the plate?
Yes, let's put it gently in the middle.
Oh, in the middle?
I always go in the middle of the plate.
Whoops.
Keep it right in the middle.
Okay. Is that sufficient?
Yes. Yes, you can line it up.
And if you're wearing gloves, don't forget you can use your hands. That's good. Culinarians use hands. Where do we put these?
Yeah, stack them so it lays across.
Okay, so
lay them across. Yes, lay them across. Yes.
All in one direction?
Yes, you can do that.
Is there an amount you want to put on?
I give my guests at least 6. Yes.
Hi. So we are back, and as we indicated earlier, we are making a savory chicken dish. We've already completed our pumpkin soup, which was divine. We did the
pumpkin soup plate is empty.
Oh, the pumpkin soup plate is empty. But we did the benoise of vegetables. We plated the vegetables already, and we put the benoise, I'm saying that correctly, right? Benoise, which is the small diced vegetables underneath. For a serving size, you want to put about 6 or 7 pieces of beans in a cross fashion over the benoise. Yes. And then you have the julienne. These are not julienne. These are batons. Because juliennes are a little smaller, finer slices. Yes. So batons of carrots over. So you have pumpkin.
We have sweet potatoes.
That's actually sweet potato.
Yeah, that's yams. Yeah.
So that's we're talking about seasonal now. So you have yam, benoise, green beans, and then you have carrots. Yes. Batons of carrots. That goes in the center of the plate. Remember now, we're making a savory chicken dish. Yes. And so, now, the chicken was cooked earlier for the purposes of this presentation. So, the roast chicken was already cooked using your particular flavors of seasonings and so forth. And as Chef Farrington indicated earlier, in the Bahamas, we're known for our wonderful array of seasonings. So, anything that you want to put on your chicken to your taste is fine. Now, we wanted to add a little bit of sauce on top of that. Yes. So Chef Farrington, tell us what you did with this stock that you created earlier. And remember, we said that this stock was made from chicken. Let me let the chef talk.
Okay, the trimmings from your vegetable, as you cut your veg and trim, you took the trimmings from your vegetable, made rough cuts. You sauteed them down with the bones from the veal, and also you get the veal bones from the butcher shop to give you more protein flavor and gelatin and the stickiness and the richness in your stock. And we also add the carcass. The carcass will be the bones from the chicken. As you break it down, you save those, and anytime you need to make a broth, you have those. And so what we did, as it reduced down to a third. So we have a nice demi glaze in here. And so what we did is for the demi glaze, right, Doc, what we're going to do, we took our chicken, we break down the breast. The breast, preferably we having dinner, so we going to go in here. You could take the breast, immerse it down in the sauce, right, Doc?
Yes.
And then I always rest it like this.
I want them to see what you're doing there.
And you have a lovely, and you know you get to be the one that cleans up everything. Yes. And that's the beauty of your plate. Now you have this little spoon. If you feel like you need a little bit more sauce, you can take your sauce right out and you just drizzle it gently. We call it nappe. Okay, so we nappe the sauce gently. Yes, Doc?
Nappe.
Okay, so you can put another little bit so you have enough sauce because it's the chicken breast.
And
So
a chicken breast is generally dry.
yes.
So one of the reasons you want to reduce your stock down, because so you can have this wonderful nappe. Nappe is the process.
Yes,
nappe is the process.
Demi-glaze. You have
the
a nice demi-glaze.
Demi-glaze.
Yes.
Demi-glaze sauce.
Yes. And because we know this season, this past 9 months, we were not moving as much as we like to.
Exercise
and you might
rice.
want to know why we did not use any rice. Well, our carbohydrate is at the bottom, which is our sweet potato.
Yes.
And we just uniquely did something different with the sweet potato. Instead of just having sweet potato with all the sweetness, with all the extra trimmings, we put it there to the base so you can contrast the colors. And we gave we put the carrots in that way so it can stand up, and so you get to see the beauty of your plate. And this is your plate, Mom.
Yes.
All right.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So you have a chicken breast.
Yes.
On a bed of carrots.
Yes.
Batons of carrots. Sweet. String beans.
Yes.
With the bon moise of sweet potato at the bottom.
Yes.
How delicious does
Bon
that
appetit,
look?
ma'am.
Bon appetit.
Yes.
And this is actually a meal, ladies and gentlemen. One meal.
Yes.
And you can have this. I'm going to need another fork, a knife.
Yes.
So I can taste this.
Yes.
But while we are tasting that, Chef,
Want me to go through the steps?
yeah, just quickly go through those steps again for us.
Okay.
As we grab this knife and I get to taste.
Okay. Okay, so first of all, what we did this morning, we did a rustic pumpkin soup where we roast all of our pumpkin. After we roast it, we add liquid, which will be, because we know we're cutting back on our calories, we want to eat as healthy as we could for the holidays. We add some water, or you could add vegetable stock. We blended and pureed it, and we came up with our pureed soup. And this is our pureed soup. And then we garnish our bowl with fresh herb from the garden, along with some bon moise of sweet potato. So we will make sure you have efficient carbohydrates because we low on calories, as not heavy in carbs. And then after that, what we did, after we dissect our chicken, develop our flavors, we get our sauce going, and that is what we have there, reduction of our sauce right there. And then we have the reduction over there. So this is our sauce pot right here. Yes.
I know. I watch a lot of cooking shows and so forth. There is a difference between this kind of sauce that you made and flour-based sauce. Which one in your mind is the best? And in fact, in Southern America, they call that gravy.
Yeah, they go pan gravy.
Pan gravy that they would put over as well this kind of a dish.
Yes.
What would you suggest for, obviously for nutrition purposes, would you suggest this or would you suggest the flour-based gravy?
Well, for us, what we did is, because we know we're working on the calories, when we saute our trimmings and all that good stuff, if you want to, you can use arrowroot or cornstarch for your thickener. And once you use arrowroot or cornstarch and you add your water or your wine, and let it reduce. So when you go with the flour pan gravy sauce, you have a little bit more calories than the arrowroot and the cornstarch. So I go with the demi-glaze. So it's less calories and it reduces. Because it reduces
and it's
down.
The natural
and
flavors.
It's a natural flavor, and it gives you a nice, you can see it's a nice gloss, nice gloss and shine. And then you just, once you're done, once you strain the sauce off, you can freeze your bones and use it again. And you call that a remoulage. So when you need to use those bones again, you start off with a fresh set of stuff. And then you just add the bones that you had in the freezer, because the gelatin would already been developed. The bones will already have the flavor and the coloring. And the nice thing here today, you see, we didn't add there's no kitchen bouquet or browning. So everything is natural color and flavors.
You're right. You
yes,
are
natural color and flavors.
So let me ask a question. The bones that you start with, because I need folk to understand. That was cooked already, or was that raw? See, because we don't want you to take the chicken out of the freezer and say, well, okay, I'm going to put these bones in here and expect that kind of brown sauce at the end of the day. That was cooked already.
Yes, and where that come from is all of this all of this bone would have all the carcass from the chicken already have some caramelization.
So you can do that with turkey bones as well.
Turkey bones, you can take your turkey bones and you start off with your mirepoix vegetable, you add your fresh mirepoix vegetable, you add your bones that you have in the freezer, and then you just let it, put the liquid chicken base, you will go with the chicken base flavor, flavor as in, if you're going straight chicken, you have chicken stock. Chicken stock. If you go in with vegetable stock, you have vegetable stock.
Okay.
But it'll be a brown vegetable stock and it'll be a brown chicken stock. Yes? And once you add those there and you let it reduce by 2/3, you end up with a glaze.
So there are 2 steps then.
Yes.
So you have to create the stock first.
Yes.
Which is the cooked chicken in water.
Yes. Along with mirepoix vegetable. And once you have had that stock going, then you take your older bones and you add it to it and you call it a remoulage because you're rebuilding that back to a new stock.
A remoulage, which is a rebuild. Okay.
Yes, and that's what happens in all classical kitchens. You will have stock pots running non-stop because you always want for large production, but we know that is the past. Yeah. So now everything is going to be small batch because you have less customer.
Yes.
Small batch and easy to handle. Small families and we grab and go meals. Prep.
This is a lot of work. It seems easy, but the process of making this demi-glaze is indeed a 2-step process that can take hours.
Yes.
So if you think that you want to do something like this at the end of the day, you want to start early in the morning.
Yes.
By doing your vegetable stock. How long should you cook the stock for?
Okay, for us, like we go with a gallon of stock, we go with like almost 2 to 3 hours to get it down to where we need it.
And you let that reduce as well.
Right down to the third.
To the third. Reduce to a third.
Yes.
So you start off with a gallon of water,
and you
end up with a quart of water at the end of the day.
Yes.
Right, so once that's reduced, then you put that with some additional bones.
Yes.
With the
liquid, whatever liquid you have, vegetable brown liquid, whatever your wine, and you let it reduce some more to give you the gloss on top of your food. So that's, you said the right word, demi-glace. When we say demi-glaze, but demi-glace is like French, and demi-glaze is the same concept. It just has it reduced right down, all your bones, the chicken bones and everything, it reduced right down, and you have a nice shiny sauce. Yeah? Glacé.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So, I tasted it. It's divine. I see why. This is the chef of the Caribbean. And let me tell you, effortlessly she put this together. And so this is a wonderful Christmas dish, like I said, that you can have on Christmas Day if you want to, if you're trying to eat less. All of us are trying to keep our figures in check. And then you serve it with the pumpkin soup as a starter. What would you end with?
I would end with my guava waffles.
Guava waffles, there you are.
Yes, the gin and coconut water, and it's all done.
Now the gin and coconut water, for the non-drinkers, you can just have the coconut water.
Yes.
Okay. Leave the gin
for us.
For me. If you wanted to serve wine with this, if you want to pair a wine with this, would you go with a Beaujolais or a Zinfandel or something like that?
I would go with one of those. I love it.
And the Beaujolais is a heavy-bodied red wine. And the Zinfandel obviously is lightweight white wine that you can go, because it's chicken. Yes. And so you always want to use a white wine with chicken or a heavy body red wine, because
right now.
Yeah, that's true.
It's preference right now.
That's true.
Because you have more people going straight red wine.
So you would serve the red wine for the Beaujolais or the Zinfandel first while you're doing the soup, and then you leave the gin and tonic for afterwards.
After when we having our guava waffles.
Then you have and then you want to have an aperitif at the end of the day as well.
Coconut rum or orange and banana liqueur combination shot.
A shot of, we call it aperitif.
Yes.
In the industry.
Yes.
And which is you end with something very, very heavy to take. Obviously you have a driver. Or if you're home, then you're going to have, men will go and have a cigar, women will also just sit down and relax with a heavy shot of rum or aperitif. at the end of the day.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was a delight having you in the studio with us today as we was entertained by the Caribbean's Academy Fellow Chef Farrington, and we have to have her back to give us a 2021 meal now that we are moving. Hopefully we're coming out of this COVID pandemic, and we would have all been vaccinated hopefully by the middle of 2021, and by then she's going to have a new dish that we could enjoy. You come back into the studio and be entertained, learn something from this great chef. So thank you so much for joining us today as we did the vegetables, the pumpkin soup, the savory chicken. We learned all about how to make a stock, how to make a demi-glaze, demi-glaze. And we learned a lot about native herbs. This is really what gives you the flavor of the food. Grow. I know there's a big push for gardening, backyard gardening right now. So make sure you grow something that you can use in your kitchen. So, and then to prepare that drizzle that she put, that's not the right word.
Pesto.
Pesto, yes, that she put across the vegetables. You would simply reduce this or blend this really invest in a good food processor, and you put that in there with water. With oil.
Olive oil.
Olive oil.
Some people who are really like very over there, who doesn't have any additional oil or just have raw, they will use water. Yeah.
Okay.
But us who not worrying about that as much, we still need a little oil to keep the bones going.
Yes.
We will use olive oil. But to each his own, and you have that lovely pesto right there.
You get a pesto that you would drizzle over the vegetables.
Yeah, the heaviness will settle to the bottom, but anytime you need it, you just stir.
And this could be refrigerated.
Yes, it's refrigerated for long life.
For long life.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So, again, thank you so much for joining us in Sophia's kitchen. How about that? We'll see you soon.
Nice having me.
Thank you so much, Chef.
Nice. I'll be back.
Yes. You'll be back.